Welcome back to the Southern Sisterhood podcast with Brandy
and Jerica. Hey, everybody.
Okay, so we went into the little store, we checked it out, and what did we agree on calling it? Because we did not ask them how to say it.
It's not guacamole.
It's not picante.
It's brocante.
We think anyway. Brocante Vintage. It's a cute little store, has tons of stuff, very tight squeeze, however, trying to get through there. And it is a little on the pricey side because I wanted to buy many things, but I would have been brocante. So that upsets me.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
They did have some neat stuff, some really pretty paintings too.
Your therapist is
Originals.
going to help you work through it.
No, I don't need to talk to my therapist about a store I couldn't get a good deal at. Willie Nelson, not only are you leaving hair all over me and my vehicle, you just need to lay down and chillax. Are your nails catching my shirt?
No.
Okay. All right. So, what are we going to talk about today, Sissy? You want to do a life update this time?
No, I don't want to do it, but I need to do it.
You want me to start?
No, let's start.
Okay.
My beloved Porky, my best friend, my soul dog. My roommate Emily ran over him in the driveway a little over a week ago. And I came home from work looking for him and couldn't find him. And I woke her up and told her I couldn't find Porky and asked her if she knew where he was. And she sat up and said, I need to talk to you. And I just said, is Porky dead? And she said, yes. And so I haven't been the same since then.
I know you're very upset.
It's
Porky wasn't the only puppy that you've lost early.
no.
Now, some animal, because you've had a lot of animals over the years, and some you're more attached to than others.
Naturally,
So, would you say that? How long had you had Porky?
5 years.
Wow, that is a long time. So, would you say which puppy would you say was your most favorite that you miss the most? Or that's not really a good question because I know of another puppy that was very difficult for you to lose
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily under the same circumstances.
No, very different circumstances.
Yeah. And I know you still miss him. Sweet, sweet Leo. You remember when you brought Leo to my house?
Yes, it was Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, and you just showed up with Leo as a puppy at my house? Yeah, we've talked about that where he was, he was the baby, little baby,
Yes.
and he was not potty trained.
I just found him that day.
I'm still not sure I believe that story fully. That on the way to my house, you just pick up a dog. Although,
No, he was at my house. He showed up at my house.
he just walked up your driveway to the house. That's the
Did-
story.
I looked out the front window and there was Max and then Leo and then Lucy all in a row. And I thought, well, what do we have here? Because Lucy was very territorial, but she thought she found Leo. Lucy thought that was her baby.
Her little
And Max
bestie.
thought he was his daddy.
Oh,
So they raised him.
yeah. I know that was a sweet little connection they had. But I have to say, Leo really did steal my heart because he was precious and very smart. And that was really heartbreaking whenever he went missing. Uh, so I know they are very different circumstances. Um, so how are you handling things?
Not well.
And are you are you speaking to Emily?
I've spoken to her.
Like as in take out the trash or like an actual conversation about what happened?
We had a conversation about what happened. Nobody called me. I was at work. Nobody called me. So for to let me come home and look for him and have to wake her up to find out that he's dead in a Tupperware. I just think that's fucking insane, bruh.
Yeah, she said she was gonna set her alarm to wake up so that she was awake when you got home, but I don't know. I don't know if she didn't get any sleep because of what happened. I don't know that part, but
The right thing to do is often the most difficult thing to do.
maybe so.
And no way was it going to be easy or pleasant or good or anything. But not calling me when I could have raced home to hold him while he was still warm. 'Cause I mean, he was my ride or die. Everywhere I went, he was with me. He slept with me. We breathed the same breaths. I rocked him like a baby. It was just, my God, it's so fucking terrible. So I'll never be the same again.
Well, you said that about Leo too, and then you got Porky, and you felt that way about Porky, so it is possible. So don't lose that feeling, sissy. There's a lot of more animals to be rescued by you and loved by you. And you know in those 5 years that you did a great job taking care of Porky.
He loved life and he loved his mama. He was the reason that I went home.
I feel that way about Opal and Ivory. I wor I see that look. They're my babies.
On another note, Isaac and his team won the welding contest.
Yay!
First place. Now they're going to nationals in June in Atlanta.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Well, you didn't tell us when it was. Was it not open to
No, it
like, you
wasn't
couldn't go?
open. No.
Well, that's disappointing, but I'm so excited that they won. I bet he was happy about that.
He's very happy.
How cool is that to go to Atlanta in June?
Right. Road trip.
That sounds like an idea to me.
Let's do it.
Yep. You think you can make it? Will you drive? I can't see it at night.
That's what you say. So, what's your life update?
I don't know. You really can't see at night either now. It's concerning.
Yes, I can. It looked like a horse.
That was daytime.
I was not driving.
You were in the front seat, though.
So I wasn't driving.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't know what else to say about that story. Okay. My life update. I don't know. I hate to go back on it. I'm just so worn out talking about it because I'm annoyed. But I had another episode of vertigo and I went back to the doctor. He said my crystals in my inner ear were out of place. And so they did these manipulation things on me, the audiologist did. And then, and then I went for, I guess, almost a week and it got better. It definitely got better. And then I was still having it. So I went ahead and went back. They said the crystals were in place, but I might have to have um, some sort of therapy, vestibular therapy. Shelby's shaking her head.
What
Yes.
does that entail?
I have no freaking idea. Um, something with Oh, it works on my balance, Shelby says. Something about the inner ear and like your brain processing movement and stuff. Uh, yeah. And what I want to do is tell my boss that working on the computer is impacting my visual balance, but I don't think she would want to hear that. So I sometimes though working on the computer is pretty painful. Um, so I kind of had a little episode at Friday at work, had to take some more nausea medicine, dizziness, blah, blah, blah. And I just still don't feel quite right. I mean, it's certainly better, but anyway, so that's just my life. And then I also have determined Dr. Google thinks that thinks that I have tendonitis in my Achilles. Yeah, on my right leg. And Riley doesn't have any sympathy for me about it.
Until you have like ruptured ovarian cyst, I don't want to hear nothing about your
There's no comparison to the ruptured ovarian cyst. That's not what this is. There's no comparison. I always have sympathy for her when those things happen. Anyway, but it makes it uncomfortable for me to get up. So we watch a movie and I'm trying to get up off the couch. And unfortunately, just like I have God, I've just sound like a really ailing person all the time. I have planters, which my dad also had. But this is more like the backside of my ankle and like the swelling is around my ankle. It's not necessarily my heel. It's even though I'm putting my feet on the grounds and when I step, the movement, it's like it pulls in the back of the heel. So it's definitely different. But anyway, but what this means ultimately is that I'm going to have to go to another doctor's appointment. And I'm just starting to get really sick of it. I mean, I've been probably sick of it. I'm definitely sick of paying for it. And I just wonder when I'm going to feel like I'm 20 again.
These are the golden years, remember that.
Well, it said on Dr. Google that if I don't address it, probably with some damn therapy, that I could rupture my Achilles, and clearly that would not be good. But
That sounds serious.
yeah, I know. So anyway,
So it sounds like you've got a lot of therapy in addition to the therapy that you already go to in your
yeah, but
future.
I graduated to once every 3 weeks with
Oh,
my counselor.
congratulations.
Yes, she thinks I'm doing well. So as long as life doesn't just punch me in the face, I'm doing all right. Yeah. Yeah. So every day is a new day, sissy. 'Cause, you get through one and then you move on to the next, and then you get to see if it punches you in the face that day. And sometimes
Mm.
it's just a real bitch. So literally. So we
Sometimes you just have to call into work.
yeah, yeah. I can't though, because my boss I have to drag myself out of bed for real these days. And, wow. And then not know what I'm
If
gonna
you're gonna hit the floor
yeah,
when you get out of bed, if your ankle's gonna collapse,
I know.
you're gonna have vertigo
Yeah,
and fall off the toilet.
wow. Thank God I'm pretty close to the wall for the toilet, but we we moved bedrooms. We created the podcast studio, which clearly we are not at today. But we created the podcast studio, but that was my bedroom after, Riley moved out and, well, came back from college and then she's now moved to her own house. So at least when I stood up, I was kind of close to a wall and I also could like grab hold of something if I needed to. Now my room is bigger And the only thing I can really grab hold of is
The
my
floor.
nightstand.
We need
Yeah,
to put safety railings around everywhere.
I guess.
Didn't you want to tell our listeners when you went to get your ears checked out or your crystals reset, what else they found?
What else did they find? Oh, you're talking about the dark waxy stuff that came out of
The
my ear?
extraterrestrial.
Yeah, well, they didn't find it. It just came out and I felt it after I left the appointment. But I was like, you know how you just feel like something's in your ear? And I reached up and I put my finger in my ear and I just kind of rubbed it and like this big piece of wax came out. And I'm like, "Oh my god, they really moved some stuff around in there." Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. Anyway, they didn't seem too phased when I told them when I went back for the second appointment that that had happened. So I guess that's maybe normal. I don't know. But it was weird. I'm glad it's gone though. But
Yeah.
like every
You
once in
can
a while,
probably hear better now.
maybe so. But once in a while, like I'll get like clogged, like wax will get clogged in my ears
When we were
and I'll have
little,
to
one
get it
time
cleaned
we
out.
had to go to the ear doctor and they took a ball of wax out of your ear.
Yeah, they did that as an adult too. This one was probably on its way to be my third incident. But yeah, it was nasty. So I'm sure all of our listeners wanted to hear about that experience.
Well, it's a sign of a healthy ear if you're producing wax.
I guess so. Do
It
you know
keeps bugs from.
genetically it can tell you like if you're someone who's more inclined to have like brown-ish color wax as opposed to like yellow whitish color wax. Isn't that crazy? Like your genetics.
That is some random shit.
It is some random shit. I only know it because I did a genetic thing with my doctor's office. It was some sort of study they were doing. They probably have saved my genetics for something weird. They say they toss it, but who knows?
You're
They're
being
gonna tune
baked
me
in a
'cause I'm
lab
so
right
awesome.
now somewhere.
Yeah, well, when you're 50, your body's gonna be like, I'm done now. So, yeah, I just that was gross and I don't want to have that again, but who knows? Because wax does form in your ear and I do use Q-tips and I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. I like Q-tips. I want a Q-tip to clean out my ear. And if it causes me to get some buildup at where I got to get it cleaned out, then that's just what it is. I'm not giving up. I mean, what can you get out of your ear with a wet rag? You can't get far enough down in there.
Right. I think that you could test out what are those vacuums that everybody loves that's so expensive? Them vacuums that are so expensive?
Rainbow,
No.
Di- Dyson.
I just think things should work properly.
Yeah,
I agree with him, but you could test it out, the suction power, by putting it up to your ear and see if it gets anything out of there. You can make a commercial for them.
no, no,
Maybe
no,
get a
no, no.
free vacuum for your sister.
That's Rainbow that does that.
Oh.
They charge $6 zillion for one, and then tell people, "Oh, if you get 5 people to do it, five dumbasses to buy one, then then we'll give you a free trip." Well, only because you've paid $2,000, $3,000 more for it than you shoulda. And, they always show you those tricks. "Oh, look at how nasty your mattress is." Well, have you ever done that with your vacuum? It probably would look the same.
Oh.
But no, nobody does that with their regular vacuum. You just see it when it's a sales pitch, people. If you sell rainbow vacuums, I'm sorry, but
You were
that's
fine.
not right. Go get another job.
You were fine living obliviously to the level of disgust.
Yeah. Or maybe I could just try it out with my actual vacuum. But it's like someone I know recently bought one. And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna clean the whole house." Bullshit. You didn't clean it. You had a regular vacuum.
Oh.
I mean, when does the $3,500 vacuum do you lose interest in cleaning? No, you don't want to. Unless you have germophobia, OCD, that's not, you don't know. No. I was not going to disclose the person. But I guess now it's the cat's out of the bag. It's my children's father. My favorite part is when he will complain about money and then he the next day buys the $3,500 vacuum. I'm like, you've got to be joking. So,
Well,
because he's going to clean the mattresses. I think for $3,500, just go buy yourself a new one.
I think for $3,500, the vacuum should clean the mattresses by itself.
Right. Like a little Roomba for mattresses.
Yeah.
Or just, have a mattress pad on, like a cover,
Yeah.
an enclosure.
Watch
then
it.
No need to do that. But whatever. Everybody spends money on what they want. I mean, I have a Facebook marketplace addiction.
I said it a little louder.
Addiction.
Ooh, she's really claiming it today, y'all.
I do like Facebook Marketplace and I do like vintage shopping.
Well, I sent you a picture of a canoe, which you did not respond.
I did not know what that was about.
Well, hadn't you asked me for a canoe a while back for your flower bed or some shit?
No, that's a flat bottom boat.
All right. Well, speaking of boats, do you remember once upon a time
Uh-huh.
in our younger years?
How old do you think we were?
Young.
Like
7 and
8?
9.
Okay. No, please.
7 and a half.
7.5 and 9. Okay. Whatever. Next.
8 and 9. Oh, so tell me what you remember about it.
Well, I remember that our stepdad, who wasn't our stepdad at the time, he was mom's boyfriend. And I mean, he moved in, but uh he liked boats. I mean, gosh, they were still in their 20s, huh? Like late 20s, but still 20s, right?
I
Well,
would say so.
and Pops was a few years younger than Mom. So yeah. So he always liked boats. He had his boat. That was his thing. And lots of times we would go out on the Tickfaw River or Lake Maurepas. But this particular time, they decided they were going to take us to the Gulf of Mexico. And I don't recall how large the boat was because
It was a 25-foot Sea Ray.
Okay, I was about to say, they have had many boats over the years and some as large as 40 feet long. So I just don't know. Okay, so 25 feet long. Well, let me just make an announcement to those who are confused or have any questions in particular about the size of your boat in the Gulf of Mexico. If it is 25 feet long, it is not big enough to be running around in the Gulf of Mexico. And while they did all the research, supposedly, about the size of the waves, yes, and we were a 1 to 2 foot waves. Well, as you know, Mother Nature does not always cooperate. So I don't know what happened that particular day, but they failed us miserably on the estimation of the size of the waves. And so they ended up being like what, 6 to 8 foot waves?
They were huge.
And
We were like a cork in the ocean.
yeah. And I mean, there were quite a few times we thought it was going to tip us over.
Oh, yeah.
So again, 25 foot long, do not go into the Gulf of Mexico. Well, if you don't know this by now, based on some things my sister has said, she is always impacted by movement. Car sick, seasick, swing set sick, ATV sick.
It's not funny.
Yeah, watching the ball go back and forth sick. I don't know. I mean, every kind of movement sick that there is,
They get it.
Jerica has it. So, so this is where you tell what happened to you, sissy. In the 6 to 8 foot waves,
our mother had
we were fishing.
previously put a Dramamine patch on my ear. That was supposed to keep me from getting motion sickness. That's a fucking gimmick, okay? That shit
Dramamine
don't work.
does work in a lot of ways, but it never has worked on you. There isn't a pill alive that can help you, sissy.
So I said, I don't feel good. And our mother said, I put that sticker on your ear. You're fine. And they said, somebody please hold my fishing pole. And I'm holding on to the side of the boat for dear life, puking my guts up. And I don't know at what point uh, Pops decided that this mission might need to be aborted. But yeah, we were basically waiting to die.
Well, it definitely was after you got sick because he was fishing and all the fish were attracted to what was coming out. So it was definitely not at that moment, but they had like a hook, a long hook thing that they could use to pull us into what was it, the oil rig that they used that? Remember that long, looked like a metal spaghetti thing
So we're
with a
out
hook on the end?
there, and lo and behold, there's this offshore rig, and it just happens to be an Exxon oil rig.
We did not know that at the time.
No, we found out though, and that's where Mark worked. He worked for Exxon. And so worked out well. They reeled us in and put us in a little hoist and hoisted us up over the side of the yacht. Where once you stood on that thing, you couldn't even feel the waves at all. It was so big. And they brought us in the office and gave us hot cocoa and wrapped us in blankets.
Mhm.
And I remember the calendars being of naked women.
You do remember some odd things.
And then we had to get in the little donut thing with the cage, and they hoisted us up to the top where the
Mhm.
helipad was, the helipad.
That was way up there.
Yeah.
That was scary.
And then we flew back to shore, but the Coast Guard,
With mom.
yeah, the
Well,
Coast
they
Guard,
they sent a helicopter to come get us.
right. We had to be rescued.
Mhm.
And Mark was basically towed in by the Coast Guard and then heavily fined.
Yeah, they drove like they were on the side of him to kind of block the waves. I don't know how far out we were. I mean, it couldn't have been like, you think it was more than like 20 miles? Surely not, huh? I don't know.
I
That's a
couldn't
part
have
of the
swam
story.
back to shore.
Well, yeah, I know that, but yeah,
We would have been shark bait. Ooh, ha, ha.
for real. Yeah. Willie Nelson's thinking, "Oh gosh, shark bait." Yeah, he got all kind of tickets from the Coast Guard for, stuff, not having enough.
Flares, emergency flares.
Yeah, or not enough life jacket. I mean, we had life jackets, but I don't know. It was all these whatever these rules were. I think they were just I he didn't care. I mean, he didn't care how much it cost him to get it back because it wasn't on purpose. He didn't intend for us to be out there in danger, and he was thankful that the Coast Guard came and got him to get back, to shore. But he was also thankful that we just happened to end up at a Exxon oil rig out in the Gulf, and they took really good care of us. But that hook thing that they used to get close to pull us in, kind of near the rig, ended up looking like a piece of spaghetti afterwards. It had completely lost its shape, and then the swim platform of the boat was like beaten off of the back of the boat. It was just like hanging.
Mhm.
So that was quite the experience that day. That was the first time I've ever ridden on a helicopter.
Same.
Yeah. And the first time I had ever been hoisted up from a boat to an oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico.
Same.
And I would say that I would prefer not to do that again.
Same.
I mean, the cookies and hot chocolate were a nice added benefit, but yeah, I probably would go through that net today if that were to happen. But wow, I mean, yeah, that was way up there, especially for kids. But yeah, I think after that they both full on believed that there was no controlling your movement sickness. They were definitely sold if they weren't before that this was the real deal. I don't know when it clicked in for me because I always thought that you'd try to get in the front seat of the car because you were car sick, that you were bullshitting, but I now know that that's completely inaccurate. Yeah, which is why I mostly let you drive all the time.
It works out well for both of us.
Yeah, as long as you can see.
Well, I think I can see better than you. I just misdiagnosed a man on the bicycle to be a horseman.
Oh, now it was a horseman. Okay.
Never.
What, like a horseman?
Say carriage.
Like a headless horseman, or like a horse with a man on it head? Like
A
a man.
Centaurian.
Oh, is that what they're called?
I don't know.
Well, so let's talk about Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson, I'm fostering him. He is a 5.8 pound Chihuahua Terrier mix, about a year old, very much a puppy. He's still got his stitches. He's been fully vetted and altered, and he gets his stitches out next week.
Mhm.
And he's so precious.
So remember, I mean, we last thought that Franny was gonna adopt him and keep him, and I thought he would be really good for her, but she just called you one day and said, "I don't think I can do it." She's not like an animal person, right?
No, she's not an animal person, but she was gonna try.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. I left on Sunday. She called me on Monday or texted me saying I can't do this. And I met her that night when I got off of work and brought him in to be altered the next day. And
Yeah.
then I had to have a girl, a sitter, help me because I was working 12-hour shifts. But now my shifts are 6 hours. So it's easier for me.
Well, Willie Nelson right now is in my arms, and his head is slowly sliding down my arm like my bra straps.
Shy baby. His little ears is bigger than him.
I mean, look at that baby.
He's so darling.
sweet. I mean, I'm holding him with one hand.
Mhm.
against my large boob and my mountainous shoulders.
He's very happy. He's very happy there.
Yeah, he's a sweet baby. He
He is a
sheds.
sweet baby. He
He
does shed, but he
maybe he's
doesn't
just
require grooming, like
yeah,
no
he doesn't.
haircuts. I mean, he will have to get his nails trimmed and stuff, but
Yeah. So are you considering keeping him?
it's too soon right now.
Okay.
I'm
When do
still
you feel like
trying
you
to
might?
process
Okay.
everything. Isaac came and helped me bury Porky at the Papas in the little rose garden.
Yeah.
And I sat out there this morning. And so I'm fostering for now.
Okay. Well, I'm just happy he's still in the fam so you can bring him to visit. Because, I'm not like a huge dog person, so I don't get attached to many dogs. But I have to say, he's so precious.
Yeah, he's a sweetie.
I mean,
And
I could totally take him to work with me every day.
I've only heard him bark 2 times.
Mhm.
One time at the vet, and one time Emily came home and he was in the back in the bed with me and he barked. But he's not a barky dog,
Mhm.
and typically Chihuahuas, I think, are very vocal.
Mhm.
Just it's in their nature. He hasn't shown me that side of him.
Yeah. That might increase if he stays longer and feels more attached to the home,
Mhm.
kinda thing, but, I'm thinking that he's, like, right close to the size, uh, Caden was when he was born. Isn't that crazy? I feel like I'm rocking a baby. I'm
Yeah.
rocking little Caden.
Yeah. Caden was 5 pounds, 4 ounces,
Yeah.
17 and a half inches long.
Mhm. So, how many puppies do y'all have at home now?
6?
Okay. So, how many are yours and how many are Emily's? I mean, they're all kinda both of y'all's, right? I mean, y'all
No,
both care
3
for them,
is
right?
mine and
Okay.
3 is Emily's.
Okay. So if you keep Willie Nelson, this would be 4?
No, he would be number 3.
Oh, he would be 3. And are all 3 of them inside?
No,
Just
just him.
just him. And how many of Emily's are inside?
1.
Okay. Do they get along? Emily's one inside dog
No,
and
he
Willie
has
Nelson?
special needs.
Oh.
He's not social.
Oh,
I
he's
wouldn't
cranky?
put Willie Nelson with him
Yeah.
because he's, unpredictable. He's
Does
a
he have
liability.
does he have syphilis psychosis, you think?
That could be it.
I'm thinking at any moment that his head is gonna fall off of my arm.
He is so
My bra strap's not gonna rescue him, by the way. Yeah, he's a
He
cutie.
likes the booby jiggle when you giggle.
Oh, really? Yeah, his ass is right up against it. But, I mean,
Yeah.
it just fits right here on my one hand. He's
Mhm.
super cute. So, you didn't go to work today, but you've been doing 6-hour shifts, but well, you say that, but you really haven't been doing 6-hour shifts. You've been doing more, which I told you was not best for you.
I'm trying to just keep it at 6 hours now.
Okay, good. How do you feel like you have any I mean, obviously, I know you've been through a recent trauma, but, being that the anemia and stuff, how are you feeling with that?
I'm feeling like I'll know better next month.
Okay. I mean, no immediate improvement that you can notice.
No.
Okay. And are you changing any medications?
Stop taking Abilify.
Okay.
I'm off of it completely.
Okay. And do you think you're gonna get on something else?
No, I'm trying not to.
Okay. All right. Well,
How about you?
no, I haven't changed any medications recently.
Okay, well, just remember that Abilify is my antipsychotic.
Oh, okay. So what does that mean? You're psycho? What do you mean?
We'll find out. To be advised. Stay tuned for more sagas from the Southern Sisterhood podcast.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, following, subscribing.
Like and share. Toodaloo, darlings.
Have a great week.